Good day, class. It's a great day. It's a new day. I am Teacher J. Mark, and I am your teacher for today. So, we are done discussing curriculum evaluation through learning assessment. We are able to know the different types of tests used by the teachers to track the progress of the students, and as well as identifying their weaknesses and use it as a basis in improving the curriculum. Now, let's proceed in lesson 5.3, which is planning, implementing, and evaluating, understanding their connections. But before that, our lesson objectives are the following. At the end of this module, you are expected to first, analyze the relationship between planning and implementing in curriculum development. Second, explain the connection of curriculum implementation and evaluation. Third, discuss the interrelatedness of curriculum evaluation and curriculum planning. And lastly, interpret the overall relationships of planning, implementing, and evaluating in the curriculum development. Okay, so let's start the lesson in this question. Does the curriculum development ends with evaluation? Ang curriculum development ba ay nagtatapos sa evaluation? According to some models presented by Hilda Taba and Ralph Tyler, yes, curriculum ends with evaluation. However, since curriculum development is a continuous process, it can also be viewed like a pie. What do we mean by pie? P stands for planning, I for implementing, and E for evaluating. It is a cyclical process which with means that after evaluating, the process of planning starts again. So, paikot-ikot lang siya. For us to understand the evaluation cycle more, let's hear it from Althea Timbresa.
So let's continue on our next topic. We have the evaluation cycle, or we call it the connections. Planning, implementing, and assessing are three processes in curriculum development that are taken separately but are connected to each other. The cycle continues as each is embedded in a dynamic change that happens in curriculum development. So we all know what cycle means. So dun nga sa reproduction or basta sa science noon na pag-aralan natin ang tungkol sa cycle. And of course, in implementing or in evaluation, we have the what we call the evaluation cycle. So first, of course, we need to plan. Planning is the basic unit of it. So you need to plan on what you want to teach your students before you're going to implement it. You will plan for the instructional materials or the ways on how you will teach your students. So next one is implementing. Of course, if you are planning or you planned something, you will to implement it. So what's the sense of the things you planned if you're not implementing it? So the next one in the cycle is implementing. So the last one in the cycle is evaluating. Now you will evaluate what you have taught, what the students learn, or what you gave them, or what knowledge you gave them. So after you evaluating, of course, you will again plan, implement, and evaluating. It's just that a cycle.
So let's continue to our next topic, which is the planning is an initial step in curriculum development. So it includes determining the needs through assessment. Needs would include those of the learners, the teachers, the community and the society as this relate to curriculum. After the needs have been identified, the intended outcomes are set. Intended outcomes should be SMART. So, what is SMART means? S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for realistic, and T is for time bound. So, intended outcomes should be doable, achievable, and desired. So, after establishing this, then a curricularist should find out in planning the ways of achieving the desired outcomes. These are ways and means and the strategies to achieve outcome. So um, the first thing to do is to plan to achieve the desired outcomes that you want. So together with the methods and strategies are the identification of support materials. All of these should be written and should include the means of evaluation. So Um, let's proceed to the example of curriculum plan is a lesson plan. So it is a written document. Many planners would say a good plan is half of the work done. So in curriculum development, a well-written plan ensures a successful implementations. So lesson plan is a roadmap of a teachers create to structure daily activity in their classroom. So the end product of planning is a written document. So there's a lot of there's are some output of curriculum planning, which are lesson plan, unit plan, syllables, course design, modules, books, instructional guides, or even a new science curriculum plan. So this output, it is a outlines what students will learn during each class period. So how the lesson will be taught and how student progress will be measured.
Key idea implementation continues after planning. What should be implemented? The planned curriculum which was written should be implemented. It has to be put into action or used by a curriculum implementer who is the center. Curriculum plans should not remain as a written document. It will become useless. A curriculum planner can also be a curriculum implementer. In fact, a curriculum planner who implements the curriculum must have full grasp of what is to be done. This is an important role of the teacher. So, dapat ma-implement yung planned curriculum na ginagawa ng school, then it has to be put into action na nung implementer. So, sino ba yung nag-i-implement? Diba, teacher? So, dapat hindi lang yung ginagawa para lang sa wala. Dapat siyang ma-implement at masunod para magkaroon ng saysay yung curriculum na ginawa. And also, it will become a useless nga. So, dapat talaga is nai-implement siya and nagagawa ng maayos and nagiging guide yon ng mga teacher. Nagiging guide yun ng teacher para sa loob ng klase. And also, with a well-written curriculum plan, a teacher can execute this with the help of instructional materials, equipment, resources, materials, and enough time. The curriculum implementer must also see to it that the plan which serves as a guide is executed correctly. So, yun yung sinasabi ko, dapat ma-implement ng teacher na mabuti yung curriculum plan, and with the help of the instructional materials like equipment, resources, ganun. And magkaroon siya ng enough time para pag-aralan yung curriculum na i-implement niya sa mga estudyante. The skill and the ability of the teacher to impart the guide learning are necessary in the curriculum implementation. It is necessary to the end in view or the intended outcomes will be achieved in the implementation. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, dapat mas pagtuunan niya ng oras na aralin and kung paano niya i-execute yung curriculum sa mga estudyante niya. Like, kasi paano mo mai-implement yung curriculum kung hindi mo naman alam, 'di ba? Wala naman sigurong ganong teacher ngayon na basta sinabi niya na, binasa niya na, ganun. alam na ng mga estudyante. So, kailangan yung curriculum plan is magiging guide niya throughout the years kung paano siya magiging guide niya sa pagtuturo. Ganun.
Now let's proceed on the key idea. Evaluation follows implementation. It is very necessary to find out at this point if the planned or written curriculum has implemented successfully and desired learning were achieved. As a teacher, kailangan nating malaman kung yung plinano ba natin at the end of the lesson na-achieve ba natin or successful ba, na-implement ba natin ito ng maayos. These models discussed in the previous lesson guide the process and the corresponding tools that will be used to measure outcomes. However, when used for assessment of learning, which is also evaluation, more attention is given to levels of assessments. For the levels of learning outcomes as defined by the Department of Education, the use of the description for the proficiency, the learner is described by the qualified values of the weighted task scores in a interval scale. Next is the idea key, which is the what has been planned should be implemented and what has been implemented should be evaluated. This is the pie. The cyclical flow of the three processes in curriculum development. It is very easy to remember and follow. As a curricularist, these guiding ideas clarify our understanding that one cannot assess what was not taught, not implemented, what was not planned then implement, then evaluate. And the next is cycles begin. Kumbaga, sa pagpaplano, susunod ang pag-apply, which is the implementation, or implement. And next is evaluate. As a teacher, tayo, paikot-ikot lang nating inuulit yan. Paulit-ulit nating ginagawa, which is the plan, implement, and evaluate.